I'm Diana Dalbatten, and I'm from the University of Minnesota. And I run an REU program myself, and I have been working on research experience for undergrad programs for over 20 years now. And I'm going to give you some thoughts on why they really are for you, presuming you're an undergraduate student, of course. Before I do, I put this link at the bottom down here right under my name, and it links you to this, which is it shows you that this is part of a research showcase. So this is the first talk that's going to be given, and for the next 3 weeks after today, we're going to be following those up with some undergraduates who are going to be showing the summer research they did. On the 29th, we're going to do that, as well as have an application workshop where you can come and bring questions you have about programs that you found in application process. And then we're going to have another undergrad research showcase following that on December 6th. So we will be sending out emails to all of you about this, and we hope that you can join us for those too. But for now, I'm just going to go back to my talk over here and put on my slideshow and get started, okay? Thank you. So I run a program called the Research Experience for Undergrads on Sustainable Land and Water Resources, as I told you. And that link is here, and it'll be included along with all these slides and everything else in an informational document that we'll give you the link to, and that Jody will put the link on. The REU that I run is on sustainable land and water resources, and it is tribally focused and community-based research that takes place in Montana on this with Salish Kootenai College, with the Fond du Lac Band of Lake Superior Chippewa in northern Minnesota, with the collaboration of University of Minnesota Duluth. And then I have a team at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities in Minneapolis, and the team works there. We mostly take earth scientists and civil engineers, but of course, ecologists, biologists, and other people interested in the earth, mathematicians, and others. So I invite you to take a look at that. This is sort of as a way of introducing who I am. Also up in the corner, you'll see the Geoscience Alliance. That's a group that I run with others that is focused on broadening participation of Native Americans in the geosciences. But I'll share with you our link to that as well. This particular talk is sponsored by the Native Food, Energy, and Water Systems Alliance, which is another alliance you can check into and find out about, and the Ecological Forecasting Initiative. Yeah, another network of interested individuals that you can check out. And all of those email addresses will be at the end of this talk, so you don't need to write anything down. But so first, I'd like to talk about what are some of the benefits of participating in a summer research program. And I think the first one is just that it's really fun and exciting, or it can be. I suppose some people get into a situation where it's not the right program for them, and then it's not fun. But most of the people have fun because they get to meet a whole lot of people, they get to learn about research, challenge themselves to do something they've never done before, find out if graduate school is perhaps a great pathway for them, or if they're interested in going directly into a working environment, help build a network of supportive people, both your peers and mentors, who can help you move forward in your career. It's usually a way to earn money over the summer. Most of the programs, I would say all of the programs, offer a stipend of some sort. Usually around $700 a week is what I think the going rate is these days, as well as transportation to and from the REU and housing and food while you're at the REU. You can build potential to get letters of recommendation for jobs in graduate school and get to do a research project that may contribute meaningfully to communities that you're working with, and learn a lot of new skills and just generally have fun. So there's a lot of good reasons to participate in summer research. I'm going to show you some of the potential opportunities that you could apply for. Now, these are mostly related to earth or geoscience or ecology, but if you're in other disciplines, there are as many opportunities, and I'll be showing you some ways to find some of those too. So every discipline has research experiences that you can participate in. This is one I really like. It's the SOARS program. If you're into atmospheric research and you want to do research in Colorado, give it a look. The SOARS program is particularly a great program because of the leadership, mentoring, and support that they offer. They've been going for a quarter century or more, and they do a great job, so check them out. Here's another one, Recess. They're part of UNAVCO, and these are the people who do sensing of the Earth itself related to deep Earth seismology. And so they have a lot of good research experiences, and they're a good program as well. The U.S. Geological Survey offers lots of opportunities to engage in summer research programs, and I've listed some of them here. All of these links and information will be in a document that we'll share with you at the end. So don't worry about quick copying the links. Also, you'll have access to this slideshow. The NASA and most of the other government agencies have really cool internship programs, and then things like the Smithsonian Institute as well. So there's lots of cool government internship programs. And there's basically tons of opportunities, like I say, in every discipline. These are just a couple I found at one point. And almost all of these programs, when I meet people, because I work with Native students a lot, tend to ask me, how can we recruit Native American students? We just don't get them applying to our program, blah, blah, blah. So they are out there. They are looking for students from every background to participate, and looking for students from everywhere. So please just consider that if a program doesn't seem like it might be for you, take a second look, because it probably would be. I don't know. One of the best ways to find opportunities, I think, is just to Google NSF Geo REUs. And if you do that, one of the first things, the main thing you'll bring up is the National Science Foundation, which lists all of the Earth Science REU sites. And we also have a link to the National Science Foundation for all of their REU sites in every discipline that you can look through. And that link is provided in the document we're providing at the end as well. But the National Science Foundation funds what they call research experience for undergrads. Lots of other people have summer research opportunities, but these ones are specifically funded by our tax dollars through the National Science Foundation. And so they keep an ongoing list every year of programs that are up and running, and all of them share some features in that they are supportive of the students. They provide you with all of the funding you need, stipend and all of that to participate, and they are good sites. So take a look at that. Also, if you just Google NSF Geo REUs, the same thing, you get this other site from the National Center for Atmospheric Research that runs the SOARS program I mentioned earlier, and they're out of Colorado, and they are sort of a organizing place for the Geo REU Resource Center, and so they've created a lot of resources online for not just students, but also for mentors who run REU programs. But they have a specific page here for students with lots of good information about applying for REUs and other things. Okay. Googling like crazy is a great way to find REUs in general. I Googled ocean internships and came up with just a ton of stuff just within like a minute. You can also Google USA job internships, NASA internships, whatever you're looking for. And here's two resources. The Institute for Broadening Participation which has www pathways to science, and Ecolog, which there's information about how to join that. That's part of the Ecological Society of America. And both of those list a ton of possibilities for research. Okay, so let's talk about tips on applying. First of all, get started right now. Our application for our program, it will be up and available probably near Thanksgiving. We are closing in on getting that available for students. And our deadline is round about the end of January. So I think that's true of a lot of REU programs. If you wait until later in the spring and think, what am I going to do next summer? It's probably too late for a lot of programs. So the most important tip I can give you is to start early and pay attention to when the deadlines are. And a great time to apply for REUs is over Thanksgiving break or Christmas break. You need to look into what programs you really want to go to, not just because they're somewhere cool, but because they're going to point you. I mean, I know a lot of students who have been in an REU, and one of the first things they do is they tell me that's what I want to do for the rest of my life, because it was just so exciting. So make sure that when you choose an REU, it is going to be something that you're really interested in. And then when you go to make your application, know your own story, know who you are and where you are now, where you want to go, and how getting this opportunity plays a key role in putting you where you want to go, because that's going to be something that's important when you make your application, that people want to know how this fits in with your future goals. And then make sure you take a lot of time on your application, read all the instructions and the information about the program, and don't make a generic application that you use for every opportunity, but take the time to really think about what the program is and how it fits your goals. I always recommend you have a faculty member read your application. So if you start early and you have time, you can get that critical feedback from a faculty member and get letters of recommendations lined up, because you're probably going to need them. The best letters of recommendation come from a faculty member or someone you've done research with, although other possibilities exist. And then apply to more than one program, because most of the programs that are funded can only take a small number of students, a couple dozen, maybe only 10 to 15 students. And we get lots of applications, although everybody applies to lots of programs. So I think there's opportunities out there, but it helps if you find more than one program to apply for. I'm going to just stop briefly and see if anybody has any questions yet. Jody, did you see any hands raised or any questions?
Nope, not yet.
Okay, cool. Then we'll just keep moving on. Okay, one more slide about applications. What makes a good application? To me, it's when you let your personality shine through. When I can, and so we ask a lot of questions on our application that are answerable in a paragraph or so. We just want to know who you are. Be real, be yourself, stay focused on why this position comes together with who you are. And I think that's what we really are looking for, right? Also, we do notice thoroughness, completeness, accuracy, neatness, grammar, punctuation, spelling. So read your application more than once. Get someone else to look it over for you and make sure that you're paying attention to those details. Make sure you meet the deadlines, because the positions are often starting to be given away right away the day after the deadline. And if they require transcripts or letters of recommendation or other information, please be sure to upload it so we don't have to come back and ask you for those pieces of your application. And finally, a lot of students wonder if they are qualified. I think a lot of programs are open to students who are at various parts of their career in various majors, and even students who may not have a high GPA. A lot of programs do not have a minimum GPA qualification, but they're looking for students at various levels. And particularly if you struggled earlier in your career, but you're showing improvement in your GPA, that's a sign that we look for when we evaluate programs. But when I evaluate, I'm really looking for that student that is showing promise and commitment to the future. That's a student that really knows why the research they want to do is going to matter both in their own career and for the world itself, you know. And so we're also looking for students from a diversity of backgrounds, experiences, institution, and ages. And in short, we're looking for you probably. So you probably are qualified. A lot of students, particularly students who don't go to four-year research institutions, tend to assume that they are not that student, but I would say that's wrong, that we take a lot of different students from a lot of different backgrounds. So in short, you can do an REU even if you don't know if you want to go to graduate school, if you've never done research before, if you have a family, if you go to a community college, a tribal college, or another two-year college, if you don't know if you want to be a scientist, if you're not sure you're good at science, if you're a non-traditional student, I've had students in my program that were grandparents. So I would say basically, yeah, you can do an REU. You need to convince me that you're the right person for it. Okay. So we've posted a lot of resources, and this is the document I was talking about. So you can go to this document and you can find a lot of different REUs and other programs. And then I want to mention that this undergraduate research symposium is being put together by a collaboration of a lot of really cool organizations, not just my own REU and the Geoscience Alliance, which I think is a great and interesting group of people, but also the Native Food, Energy, and Water Systems Alliance, the Ecological Forecasting Initiative, and others. And I encourage you to take a look at these links that are on here and find out more about these organizations, because all of them are great networks for you to meet other people who are interested in science that supports communities.